Hi, welcome to part 2 of today's live. Right, okay, today, now it's the tarot readings. I did the oracle readings earlier, and now it is the tarot readings available. So I'm using Native American. I have got other decks as well, depending on what you want. Okay, so let's see. I know I forgot to type in something here, so let me fix this up. So maybe if I just type in this like I was supposed to, and I forgot. Okay, so welcome. Okay, so what's your question? Let me just type in this, and I forgot to do that. Okay. So, not sure. Let's just begin with a collective reading. Okay. Maybe I'll just start with collective reading. Okay, so what message are we going to reflect on today with using the Native American Tarot? So, it's all about maybe you feel as though something's been taken from you, so you want to get that back. You want to take back your own power, stand in your own power, and allow yourself to finish the tasks that are really important. Acknowledge the work that you have, that the skills, the talents that you have, the abilities, and enabling you to be creative and be able to sort of really finish what's really important to you by taking back your power, standing in that power that lies within you. Okay, so I'm going to use the Sacred Path cards to finish off this collective reading. Yeah, so okay, so okay, it's all about success and victory. It's all about that possibility of winning the battles by being able to sort of stand in your own power and have that sense of closure, being able to feel like you've completed the tasks at hand. It does give you a sense of victory and success. So that's really important. It feels like you've won the battle. And now you've just got to maintain that to sort of be able to move forward on the journey that you want to take. So that's the collective reading at this time. Okay, so let's do pick a card. Okay, we'll pick a pile if you like. Okay. So this is just a really quick, short live. If anyone popped in for some free readings, it's really cool. Otherwise, I'm just going to do some pick a card. So 1, 2, 3. We'll pick a pile, 1, 2, or 3. And then I'm using the Sacred Path cards to finish off the reading. Okay, and I'm also going to use the Spirit Animal card. animal cards as well. So you can pick a pile, 1, 2, or 3, and let's have a look at the overall message. Okay, so we have the sense of, okay, we've got 5 of Blades, which is like that spiritualist. It's like about trusting your intuition, trusting the messages that seem to be coming through, being able to find a sort of a win-win situation in the whole thing. Again, you get that sense of finishing the tasks that need to be done, having a sense of closure. So maybe a message coming from a past loved one allows you to have that sense of closure in it. It's all about listening to your internal timing. It's all about things happening as they're supposed to in the right time, allowing you to sense a bit of independence in your journey, not being dependent on other people. Maybe this is a time for you to depend on your own intuition, your own abilities to connect with those that have passed, allowing you to have a sense of closure in the situation as you really listen to your own beat to the music, your own rhythm as well. Okay, so next we have the sense of maybe putting your emotions to one side, being able to focus on your goals and what you want to actually achieve, which is really important here, allowing you to use that inner strength that lies within yourself to express who you truly are. And that can be part of just being careful about the words that you actually use, can be really important there. Okay, pile number 3 is looking at the sense of being able to take back your power, stand in your own power. You may feel as though something's been taken from you, and it may have caused you a long journey that has been very stressful, very and needing to sort of overcome those challenges and know that you are a true it's a sense of a sacred journey. It was something that was very difficult and very thing, but coming out the end and knowing who you truly are with a sense of wholeness within oneself, knowing that there are moments that have to be let go in your life. Now, it doesn't mean when you let go, it doesn't mean that you don't acknowledge that past. Acknowledging the past is really, really important. Acknowledging what went on, what happened, and allowing you to move through the process to be able to let go of that energy, so you're not bringing it into the future, which is super important for you to be able to let some of that energy that weighs you down. Now, it doesn't mean when you let go of that energy, it doesn't mean that you don't acknowledge it. Acknowledging it allows you to move forward on the journey that you need to go. So that's the collective message there for you, whether you use pile number 1, 2, or 3. That's my really quick messages there. Now, I am going to talk a little bit about the readings that I do. When I'm doing all these lives and I'm doing these readings, I want you to know that they take a lot of energy out of me. They do take a lot of, I'm doing a lot of these free readings, and people come here, all they want is the free readings, and there's no change of energy, there's no appreciation, and they come back with that same message over and over again. So why do I do readings? Why do I do these free readings? So, oops. Just want to add this. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so let me do this. Okay, let me just do this. Why do I read online? Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, save that. Okay. Why do I read online? Okay, so I'm going to share a little bit of thoughts with you. Maybe nobody's going to watch this right now. That's okay. And maybe nobody wants a reading. That's all right. Okay. Now, I like to do some free readings. That's not a problem. I don't mind doing free readings every now and then. But I want you guys to really think about things for a minute. You're coming on and you're asking for a reading, and it's free. I want you to ask yourself, do you really appreciate the free reading? Or are you going to come back and ask, or are you asking lots of different readers the same question? Because you don't really appreciate the answers that you're given, because you're not paying for it. Okay? Now, this is my main income. Or not my main income. This is my income, basically, one of my incomes. And it sort of gives me that opportunity to sort of put back into the business, put back into the community. The free content that I give, the going through Ko-Fi and being able to have the free opportunities to have some downloads, some exclusive content, some previews of videos, the hours I spend actually uploading videos for YouTube, posts for Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, they actually take time. They take effort and they take hours of work. Sometimes it can take me hours. It can take me a full 6 or 7 hours to do some videos or some posts, to actually get sorted, to get organized, to do edits, to create. And so now I'm just doing a raw live video here with no edits. But I just want you to think for a second, all the effort that I put into, many tarot readers do this. I mean, they really put in the effort. They really put in the time to create videos, to create posts, to share their knowledge, to share information that they think that you might find helpful when learning tarot or developing your skills, or maybe there's a message that you need to hear, etc., etc. And so there is this sense of really developing journey. Okay, and for some reason, I don't know quite what's happening. I'm not seeing. Oh, hello, Miriam. A bit slow. So it's all about a little bit of appreciation for the readings that I do. This is what I was just talking about. Why do I read online? I like to give back to the community, but I also appreciate when I do read for somebody, that they appreciate it, that they understand the messages that I'm trying to deliver, that I'm trying to bring through. Now, I know that things are a bit slow with coming through. Oh, I think I might be a bit slow. Okay, so we're just talking about, it'd be nice to, and it do put a lot of effort into the posts, the videos and things. And when it's the same people over and over again asking for free readings, I wonder if they really appreciate it, because they ask me this question over and over again. Just a little bit curious about why someone wants a reading online. What's the You know, why? Do they really want the answers, or is there something that they particularly want? Are they wanting an answer that they want and not necessarily what they need? Just some thoughts. And why do I read online? Anyway, so that's, and I know things are a bit slow with this thing, so whew, it's just not coming through. The messages are not coming through. Don't know whether it's here. So let me just remove this caption. Whew, it's not coming through. Very, very slow. I don't know whether it's to do with Restrain being in Ukraine. Doesn't really help. So yeah, don't know quite what's going on here tonight. This might be a bit of a nuisance tonight with the lagging. So yeah, it's just a few. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. It's a bit laggy. Connection's not that great. Hi honey, how are you? Not quite sure what's going on. Could have frozen maybe. Yep, ask a question. Yep, definitely ask a question. Here we go. Well, so many aspects. That depends. Have you got all the paperwork in place? It's all about, have you paperwork in place? Have you done what you're supposed to? Have you done all the preparation? It's not just about will you move, more about straight away I'm getting the sense of, have you done everything? I feel like there's something you've missed. There's definitely something that you missed. You know, when you're asking about time things or will I move to some place, it really depends on what's going on. You got to think about you're going to be moving to a new place. I just feel like something from the picture. So don't feel like it's soon. I do delay in some way. Yeah, exactly what I thought. Okay. I do feel like there's some stuff going on. Okay, I do feel like there's a delay, a perception, an idea that is a sense of delaying the I just want to keep saying delaying the process. Something's going to be delaying, and it could be to do with communication. Actually, I feel like there's some things that you need to learn before you can move. There is definitely some stuff that needs to go on. So I don't feel like you'll be moving soon. I do think there's some things that you need before you can put the moving into action. Okay. Okay, when will your Taurus reach out to you? relying on other people's things. This is not will your Taurus reach out to you? Let's have a look. What's going on here? Here you've got the Chief of Pipes. It does talk about a sense of passion, creativity. You've got this guy coming in who is there is that desire. Let's have a look. Second card here is about looking beyond the illusion. So I think there's some stuff going on. Okay, you got this guy who's passionate, creative, maybe in a sense of way, and then you've got the sense of opportunities coming. There does seem to be some opportunities coming, but it's all about looking beyond the illusion. There's some stuff going on behind might be quite what you expect. I think there's some others look at using your own skills and your ability to manifest the reality that you want for yourself, not necessarily in regards to this other person reaching out to you, but definitely feel like you need to look beyond the surface. I think there's some other stuff going on with him. The Chief of Pipes can also be, or like the King of Pipes can also be someone who can be a bit of a passionate, creative energy. So there is that energy that's very passionate, very creative, but he also takes quite a sort of he takes sort of a practical and mental approach to the situation as well in some way. So I do feel like you need to look at illusion. I don't feel reach out to you straight away. I think there's some other to my husband, with your husband. Well, only you can answer if he's really toxic towards you. It really is about, sorry, I don't quite has any ill intentions towards you. It's interesting. The card that popped out was commitment. What was the commitment to the marriage, really? It's all about looking at the commitment. I think you have to relook at what makes you happy, what allows you to have that sense of memories of the past. What's your commitment to the marriage? I think you have to decide for yourself, really. There is that cycle, there is a phase. It's an emotional issue that's going on. I do feel like there's a lack of communication. Of course, there is that lack of communication. I do think if you've got doubt going on, you really have to look at commitment to the marriage. What excuses are you making in the relationship? I do feel like there's a sense of looking at your own commitment. I think you're looking for doubt. You're looking for something that's not there. And that could be, what are you afraid of? What are you truly afraid of? I do feel like you're looking for, well, then you've already answered your own question. You've already answered your own question. If you feel like he's dominating you and he's angry, well, then you've got to move away. You've got to make the choices. It's totally up to you. You don't need a tarot card read. Move away. You've got to look at your own, that's what I said, you've got to look at your own commitment to the marriage. If he's angry and he's dominating you, well, then you need to move. You need to make the changes. It's totally up to you what you do with it. I think it's totally up to you to make the changes that you want for you, because I do feel it's a very emotional issue. Okay, so what are you afraid of to move on? Okay, so SP, it might be the fact is you've got to actually move on. Maybe you're afraid to move on from the relationship. So why are you staying there? Ultimately, if you feel that he's very angry towards you, then you've got to move. I'm saying you've got to work out what your commitment to the marriage is. Are you wanting to make it work, or are you wanting from it? What are you afraid of actually moving forward? So that's something that you've got to think about. You know, when you ask these questions, you really have to think about why you are asking them. You already know the answer. So it's about you moving forward. Why are you afraid to move forward? Will the Aquarius take out? You don't only have to type your question in once, please. You don't have to type it in again and again. I've got a program that's easy to find, easy to sort out the questions. If you typed your question in, once is enough. Okay, will the Aquarius take our friendship to a higher level? Yep, you need to think about it overall. That's, yep, totally SP. Yep, cool. Oh, I'm good. Will the Aquarius take our friendship to the higher level? Well, I think that comes down to two of you. You've got to decide for yourself where you're at too. I think you sort of let things flow. Sometimes when you ask these questions, what is your intention in asking the question? Your answer, what are you going to do about it? I think there's boundaries, walls crumbling around you. So I don't think it's going to be quite as you expect it. Okay, there is that sense of maybe barriers or things that need to be broken down. Walls need to be crumbling. This need to be a sense of crumbling. You've got a tower here, which can be a bit of a doom and gloom, but it can remind you to build the things. So you can decide for yourself how you're going to build the friendship. It's not necessarily just about Aquarius, but what can you do? What can you do to take friendship to the higher level? You know, it's about you having the success that you want. There might be some battles, there might be some challenges and things, but you can bring success, but it's all your actions, your reactions, your choices. You'll be in the situation. It can be a lot about what you choose to do to manifest a friendship is at a really high level, that's really successful. It's all about what you choose to do to maintain it. You can reach that level, but then you've got to maintain it. It's very easy for a relationship to slip, to change. So it's how do you maintain that friendship? It's all about what you choose to do to bring that relationship into a success and then maintain it as well. So there is a lot of things about barriers and boundaries that need to be broken down, that need to come apart, and that you can build the choose to act. That's really important there. Okay. So the future spouse, are you talking about someone that you're planning on marrying? You know, this is weird. Are you about someone you don't even know? This is such a disempowering question. Such a question. Will your future spouse have a child? Now, this is someone that obviously you don't know. Okay, and what I do now is if I tell you yes, you're going to only date people with a child, and you're going to miss out on some great opportunities. Okay, so you're thinking about, will my future spouse have a child of his own? Now you're going to then look for that one. So if I tell you yes, you're going to look for somebody that only has a child of his own. That's the only person you're going to date, and you're going to miss out on lots of opportunities of meeting other people that are going to help you maybe in your, you know. So what I'm doing, I'm disempowering you to look at other opportunities. So really important here to your question. Think about what you're asking. You know, you're a, you know, if you ask, what is spirit going to tell in regards to that situation? Oops, connection, disconnection, disconnection. Okay, back. Okay, I'm really worried that if I say whatever I say, I don't want to disempower. I want you to be in control of your journey. You've got free will. People around you have free will. We don't want to manipulate the situation in any way. So what we're trying to do is to give you opportunities to grow, to develop, to bring in lots of different people into your life. So here you've got the Warrior of Vessels. It tells me news coming. It talks about romance. So it's talking about, okay, someone might come into your life that has a childhood disease, but is it romantic? Is it really what you want? There may be battles and conflicts that you might have to deal with if you've got someone that comes with a child of his own. Okay, so it's really about looking ahead at the future you really want. Do you really? There is going to be battles and conflicts if this is what you truly want. So, I mean, you really got to look ahead and decide really emotionally, romantically, what do you truly want in your life? Do you really want, is this what you want? You know, you can manifest whatever you want in the relationship. You can choose to have a relationship with someone with a child of his own, or you can choose not to. Totally up to you. There are going to be some battles. There are going to be some challenges in the situation coming up. Okay, MWE, can I? Okay, I'm just waiting for this to come through in its time. Okay, you're in separation at the moment. Okay, so you want to know what's actually going on with the relationship. So what's going on? So what's going on for you and your husband at the moment with your baby girl? Okay, what are your husband's current feeling? Okay, it's a huge journey. There's a lot of thoughts. It might be a sense of, he might be feeling like he's at a bit of a crossroads and he has to stand up for his beliefs or his faith. I mean, I don't know what the background actually is about. Well, thank you. Don't forget to check out links down below. Check the details down below, the description box, and don't forget to see the pinned link as well. Okay, so you've got, what are your current feelings for you? I feel like he's at a real crossroads. He's really trying to clear away all the confusion. I think he feels like he has to stand up for himself. It does feel like there's a lot of battles and things going on. So I do feel like that there's a lot of stuff going on. You guys have got to communicate. I mean, you can see that with the Two of Blades here. There is a real need to communicate in ways. Okay, and the need to sort of re-speak your truth is really, really important in this. Okay, so this is really about communication. The need to be able to sort of away the clutter, if you like, declutter, and so that you can find a sense of inner peace within yourself. I do feel like your husband is dealing with at the moment. He's just in confusion. Does feel like he's at a real crossroads for himself. He's just not quite sure what's going on in the background. Okay, next. Does Nava still love me? No contact. Okay, well. I feel like it's his way or there's no way. He's the leader. He's in control. I think this feeling like, I think Navi just wants to be in control of the situation. There is a sense of hope. There's always hope. I mean, there is that whole sense of looking towards the stars, if you like, looking in the direction, spirituality, in your direction that you might be moving. There is a sense of really, I just get the sense of wanting to be in control of the situation, and that's most of why there's no contact. There is always hope, but it's all about what choose, you know, what do you guys choose to do? What do you choose to do in the situation? I think a lot of it is about, you know, how do you control your own life? How do you be your own provider, if you like? How are you able to sort of stitch the thread back up, you know, when the spider's web breaks and you sort of sew it, you or a spider sort of reconnects it to continue building his spider web, so to speak, or their spider web. So it's really about being able to some way to things. So that comes, the reconnection comes from being able to communicate. So does he still love you? It doesn't talk about romance as such. It talks about the sense of wanting to be the leader, to be the provider. There's a sense of hope, though. There is that sense of hope. So ultimately, I mean, there is a possibility, but it's all about communication. If there's no communication, it makes it really hard. So you might need to reach out. Shane, right. Oh, hi, Ashley. Will I get an A? Well, it's not an A, it's how well you'll do on an exam. How well. See how well. I think a lot of it is dependent on preparation. How did you hear? You know, did you answer all the questions? Did you, you know? Talks about a breakthrough, talks about possibilities. Again, it's about looking at the truth of the situation. So really it's looking at, did you study? Did you study? Did you sleep well the night before? Did you make sure that you were rehydrated, that you had done all the preparation that you needed? Did you have all the tools that you needed for your exams? It's really about the work you did. So they're really asking you to really truth of the situation, really look at what actually went on in the preparation. And it's really about your self-belief. You know, what's your perception of yourself? How you did you nurture your ideas, your, you know, how you're nurturing your ideas about yourself. So really it just tells me that with the Ace of Pipes here, that there's a breakthrough, that there's an understanding when you truly look at what you did. What was your preparation like? Okay, I feel like you really need to look at your you know, how well did you prepare? Because I think and also boils down to the person who's marking it. Okay, sometimes it can be a little bit, depending on the subject, of course, depending on the subject and how it's graded. Whether you get an A or not depends totally on the person who's marking the test. And whether, you know, it depends on what type of questions you had. So I think a lot of it is really about looking at the truth of the situation, your perception of the situation, ideals, and what the exam was about. So I think there's more to it. So I mean, I know there's hope. There is a possibility you passed, but I think a lot of it depends on the person who's marking it. And the person could be quite sharp. You know, you're thinking of the matriarch of swords. That could represent someone who's very sharp-tongued or sharp-thought, and maybe they're a little bit, I want to say that They are a little bit harsh. They can be quite critical. They can be a little bit tough. Yeah. So whether you'll get an A or not depends. Different professors are marking it, and then they'll discuss it. So yeah, you're too busy. It's influenced by the other professors. I knew I had a funny. There's other people involved, so it's not such an easy one to say yes or no. There is the potential of doing really well, but they're going to look at your whole year. They're going to look at maybe what you've done. So it depends. I can't say a definite yes or no of you graduating. The cards are not telling me that, because there's too many others. It's not a black and white. It's not a black and white yes or no. Okay, what does Jay think of you? You only have to type your question in once. Who is Jay? Jay, someone you've got a crush on, someone that's family, someone that's you know really well, someone that's an acquaintance, colleague at work. It depends. It really depends who. Yeah, Ashley, I do have the Spanish tarot. I should pull it out. Yeah. So he's a friend. Okay, he's a good friend. Okay, so we're looking at someone who's a friend. Okay, that's a completely different reading, you see. When you got someone, you know, when you're thinking about someone who's a friend. Okay, so he's a friend. So what does Jay think about me? He's a friend. Okay, so there we go. Okay, Warrior of Blades. Okay, so we've got someone who is, you've got someone who's quite intellect. Someone who's sort of, I feel like he's rushing around. Someone who's might feel as though you rush around. Maybe you might be at a sense of feeling like you've got a lot of choices to make. So Jay might think of you as someone who rushes around quite a lot, who is I mean, remember, this is Jay's perspective. It doesn't mean it's actually true or anything like that, but may feel like you rush around a lot, you don't keep still, you're a bit like you've got always got a lot of choices to make, or you know, maybe they feel like you're standing there and unable to make the choices that you need to make. So it might feel like you're running around. So that's what Jay may think of you. Okay. Okay, Ashley. Oh yeah, I know the situation. Okay, cool. Okay. Is Myra's is Mother Myra holding him back from reaching out to me? Okay. Okay. Okay, because you've been exploring this in other ways. So let's have a look. Oh, It's got a sort of a no energy. I don't think she's particular holding him back from reaching out to you. I feel like there's some other stuff going on as well with Norman. There might be some other stuff going on as well. I don't think she's physically holding him back in any way. I think a lot of it might be his own stuff going on. He might have some own stuff. I don't think it's her personally holding him back. Ashley, it doesn't feel like she's holding him back. I feel like there's some other stuff going on. I feel like he's got some stuff that he needs to finish. He's got some other tasks that he's doing. He's got some other stuff that he actually needs to deal with, and then he's going to create the life that he wants, the patterns that he wants in his life. He'll be able to move forward. I think he's got some own stuff that he's actually dealing with personally here, Ashley. So I do feel, I don't think it's her holding him back. I just feel he's got some own stuff that he's dealing with, and then he'll create the patterns that he wants. I don't think he's going to let her influence him that much at this stage. I think he's started to I feel like he's starting to stand up for himself. So I do feel like he's got some closure. He's got some stuff that he's dealing with, and then he'll create his own patterns, his own things in life. So yeah. Welcome, Ashley. Okay. What I'm going to do. Okay, let's do some pick of cards. Let's just do a whole lot of pick of cards. I'm just going to do pick a card first. Okay, card number 1 is humility. You've developed the loving awareness that you and everyone else are the same, but are on different paths. So it's about humility. Second card is about self-love. You realize that love of self is necessary before you love another. And card number 3 is acceptance. You're ready to release control of a situation or people and lovingly embrace the rhythm of life. So that's card 1, 2, or 3. 1 being humility, number 2 is self-love, and number 3 is acceptance. Right, so let me have a look at the next lot of readings. Right. Okay, so where am I up to? Okay, everything's a bit slow coming through, so let me have a look. I met a gentleman today. Okay, what happened with the relationship today? What does Sarah need to know about this relationship? Oh, wow. Thank you very much. Wow, thank you. Wow, thank you. I'll sort that out. Okay, it feels like there's some addiction, some repeated patterns here. I feel like you need to sort of I think you need balance. I think you need a sense of meditation, reflection. Take some time out to reflect on the situation. I do feel like it could be a repeated pattern. I do feel like you've dived deep head in straight away without giving yourself a time to breathe. So give yourself a moment to breathe before you make any major decisions about the relationship. Okay, with the Devil card here, it's telling me that things are not as you expect them to be, and I think you really need to take some time before jumping into anything. I do think you need to take some time out there. That's really important. Don't rush into it. You don't need to dive into it as though it's a full-blown relationship or anything like that. Take your time. I don't think things are quite as you expect them to. Okay, so here we've got PayPal. So just give me a second here. So I just need your question. Okay, so just logging into PayPal. Okay, brilliant. Okay, I just need your question. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Toka. Thank you. That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you for donating. I need your question and we will do a full reading for you. So depending on what your question is, of course. So Toka, I just need your question. Yes. Okay, cool. Okay, let's take a nice deep breath. Let's have a little bit of a, getting a bit low on incense. I'm going to have to, hopefully my brother will come soon and take me into town. Might do some orders online maybe. Okay. So let me just throw incense while I focus on your question here. Whew, that smells a bit better. I have to sort of focus and give you the best of the reading here. Oops, that didn't work. Right, now that worked. Okay, let's talk about the relationship. Okay, how do you feel? Love interest. Okay. Let's talk about the relationship. Okay. There is a lot about honoring oneself. So there is that sense of really sort of just honoring the self, those around you. So there does feel like there was a lot of honor. There is a lot of belief in being a very strong person, really trying to focus on the positive aspects. I do feel like maybe he was a little bit focused on, he might have been focusing on something that was negative in his life, not necessarily about you, but I did feel like he does honor you. Like he does respect you. There is that sense of respecting you in many ways. But I do feel like he was might have been focused on something that wasn't as positive in his life. He might be a little bit distracted. He was distracted about something going on. But I do feel like he was there is a commitment to you. There is that sort of honoring you in many ways. So I do feel that. Okay. Now we've got Matriarch of Vessels, and that can be about nurturing the emotions. So maybe there's a need to sort of nurture his emotions at this time. So we're talking about his feelings, his intentions. So I do feel like he was needed to sort of nurture his own emotions at the time. Maybe trying to decide what he wants to bring in to his life in a wealth of abundance. He wants to bring something in. He wants to harvest something into his life. So he might be a little bit distracted about what he wants to bring into his life at the moment. Might be trying to look beyond the surface, being able to manifest his tools and his abilities to be able to manifest what he wants, what they want in his life. You know, what is his life right now? So that might be why he's looking a little distracted, a little distance. I do feel like there's a sense of Maiden of Shields here. So I do feel like there's a lot of stuff that there's a lot of learning and developing. So I do feel like he feels like things can develop and there's a lot to learn about the relationship in many ways. It does feel like there's a journey. I feel like there's a lot of shifts going on in the relationship as well. It does feel like there's a lot of shifts, a lot of moving forward into calmer weather, smoother waters, if you like. Things are going to be moving into. It really is a long journey, though. It's not something that's going to happen quickly, and it needs to be maintained. The journey does need to be maintained in some way. I get this as though there is some hesitation, like he's ready and rearing to go, but there's something that seems to be stopping him time, and it might be because of whatever's distracting him. There might be some other stuff going on behind the scenes. Okay, there is some other stuff going on behind the scenes. Now it does tell us that there is a sense of needing, if you like. It does seem to be a lot of stuff going on around his mind, and he's trying to clear away all the stuff that seems to be holding him back in some way. We're looking at this as though, like here we've got the Ten of Pipes, so something's definitely weighing him down. There's definitely some other stuff going on behind the scenes. Now this could be work related. I'm talking about, yeah, it could be work related in some way, and the reason why I say that is because of the pipes, a lot of sort of pipe. So I'm getting a lot of work type energy in some way, hard work, something that sort of takes commitment, maybe feeling quite weighed down and stressed about a situation that's going on at this time. Could be a lot of thoughts and ideas when you look at the blades. There's about thoughts and ideas going on. So it could be a lot of mental stress and stuff happening. So I do feel like he honors you. He does respect you. He does care about you. But I do feel like there's some other stuff going on behind the scenes, which is why you might feel as though they're not really connecting with you at this time. They're just trying to clear away the clutter that's going on in their life, the other stuff that's going on. Definitely feels as though there's some other stuff happening in their life. And they just sort of want to be really... I do feel like there's a lot to learn. They've got a lot to learn, a lot of development in the relationship as well. I do feel like there's stuff that they're learning and growing and developing in many ways. But it does feel like they're ready and rearing to go, but there is some hesitation, and it might be because of what's actually going on behind the scenes. I do feel like there's some other stuff happening. Got here is medicine bowl, so it does feel like there's a lot of healing going on. He's going through very much a healing stage within his own journey, so he might be dealing with some really big stuff at the moment, and it's really about this. So we're talking about the relationship. I think it's a successful relationship overall if you can just give them the time to heal. Give them the time to heal. I think that's really important, giving them the time to actually heal their abilities, and actually just sort of have a little bit of fun. Know that things are not always as they seem on the surface, that there's other stuff going on behind the scenes. Okay, with the Hierophant here, it's all about looking at things and not always as they seem on the surface. It could be things that are going down below. They might say they're fine, but things are not quite going the way that they expect them to. So what I'm going to do here is just give you a Power of Love activation card here. So, oh, okay. So this one here popped out here. It's all about joy and the love and bring a spirit of fun to all that. So this is here is just remember the joy. Be joyful when you're with them. Just remember there could be other things going on behind the scenes, which makes it which makes me think that he's going through a lot of healing stage. But it does bring a sense of your journey as well. It does feel like this is success. He does honor you. He does respect you. You know, he thinks of the relationship as being successful. But I do feel like he's got a lot of healing and stuff. So just don't push too hard. Just give him the space to heal, and just be joyful. Just be allow yourself to radiate that lies within you. I think that's really important here. So joy, light in the love of life, and bring a spirit of fun to all that you do. So you just have to remember that, acknowledge that within you, and I think that things will start to sort of move in the right direction for you. Okay, so hopefully that's sort of given you a little bit of an idea about, you know, he does, but stuff going on behind the scenes. Things might not be as easy as it might seem. You know, he might tell you that he's okay, but I do feel other stuff going on within his life. And he wants to bring positive, you know, he wants to bring things, abundance and prosperity into his life, but things might be a little bit difficult at this time for him. So yeah. Hopefully that's some way. Okay. What is Sophia? She's a crush. Okay. So you're not in a relationship or anything like that. Okay. Feel like she wants some closure, or she wants some answers. Maybe she's got some questions and she wants some answers to it. She wants some sense of, feel like a task finished with the situation. Really looking, feels like Sophia is looking about the truth. She wants the truth about what's actually going on. Maybe she's got some ideals with the situation. So what does she think about you? She may think that you are, maybe you know, think you're someone who finishes tasks, but also might find you a little bit matriarch. Blades is like Queen of Swords, is that whole thing about being quite ideal in some way. So might think of you as being ideal. Think of you as sort of maybe someone who can trust their intuition. I mean, there's lots of layers to the matriarch of blades when you think of communication, ideas, thoughts, perceptions, that sense of nurturing your ideas, your dream, your thoughts, your plans. But also can talk about being sharp-tongued, being a little bit direct and to the point in some way. And you've got the, you know, someone who finishes their tasks, someone who completes what needs to be done here. So lots of aspects to that there. Okay. So I don't know if I missed anybody. So I don't know if I missed anybody. But yeah. All a bit, oh, muscles. So yeah. So I'm hoping that's helped everybody. Don't know if I've missed anybody with questions or anything. So just talking about, you know, your reading. So hopefully that sort of helped in many ways. So yeah. Just waiting to see what happens. I really haven't got any details. Let's look at Oracle of Passion. Let's do a pick a card. Let's do a pick a card. Oh, yep, it worked out. I know with these things. Right, okay, pick a card. 1, 2, or 3. One, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm going to do pick a card. 1, 2, or 3, right? So just take a minute, take a breath, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Focus on your life at the moment. Now, Oracle of Passions is not necessarily about relationships and things like that, even though it can be. It can be anything in life that's passionate, that you're passionate about. Okay, so first card here. Get a sense of seeing the light out of the darkness. I feel like there's a sense of hope going on. Some passion that's unnamed and it's being revealed. It's unnamed passion revealed. So something that we don't quite know what's going on, and suddenly we've got this intense passion and we don't quite know where it's coming from. So that's something that we might need to tap into, that we might need to look at a little bit deeper in some way. And this one talks about an angel within. So it tells us that whatever's going on in our life, the angels are guiding us. They're moving towards, trying to guide us where we need to be. Maybe a message has come through. Maybe some numbers have shown up for some reason. So the angels are guiding you to where you need to be. Angels are there for you to heal, help you with messages that are coming through. Maybe they're there to protect you in some way. So the angels are connecting with you in some way in your life, and you can connect further with that. Maybe that's something for yourself. Maybe that's something you need to dive into. This could talk about maybe you're needing to connect with the angels yourself, much more personal level. Maybe you need to sit in meditation, reflection. Maybe you need to work with an angel deck in some way. Find a way to connect with the angels on some level. Okay, so that's card 1, 2, or 3. So take a look at this imagery. And what does this say to you? Okay, what does this image say to you? You know, I do feel like there's a light out of all this darkness. I feel like some light trying to burst through, trying to shine on the situation and whatever's going on. Card number 2, unnamed passion revealed. So it does feel like you've got this passion that's just come into play and you don't know quite what to do with it all. And this one with the angel within. So that's an interesting pick a card. Okay, so this might be just about it, I think. I don't know if anything else is coming into play. I'm an hour. I'll try not to do long because I want to try and do sort of okay, so let's go ending. Pick a card. Welcome, welcome, Soloist. Yep, you can do the last reading. Don't forget to read the description box down below. Read, see the pinned thing. Oh, as an employee? Good question. Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so you're thinking about as you're an employee. So you want, how does Hazel feel about me as an employee? Okay, so oh, it's interesting because I got a sense of, it's funny because as I was asking that question, I got the 8 of Cups. And 8 of Cups is normally about someone who maybe walks away from something, who maybe a bit indolent. So someone who's not really I get a sense of someone that's not quite maybe the perspective of you is being lazy, or maybe not being quite hardworking, or remember it's just their perception. So I don't know who Hazel actually is. I get a sense of feeling like this one here was interesting, is this turned over, and yet we've got the Warrior of Blades. So it's like you rush around doing nothing, basically. So they might see that you rush around. You might be somebody who rushes and does, you know, it looks like you're doing things, but really they've got this perception of you really not doing anything, even though you might be rushing around. You might be rushing around and not really achieving anything. You might be doing a lot of stuff, but actually not getting anything done. So I really don't know. Remember, this is just their perception. It doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean it's factual. This is Hazel's perception of you. So they may feel that you don't do anything, that you, even though you might be running around, you're actually not achieving any results. You're not finishing any tasks. You're not getting anything done. So it's quite an interesting sort of card. And I know this is not, I mean, I'm not saying that, I mean, it is a guy who's sitting and he's got alcohol there. He's too busy sleeping and not really getting work done. He's walked away from his responsibilities in a way. It does feel like they think that you've emotionally sort of walked away from your responsibilities for some reason, and that might be just because you're rushing around and might not actually be achieving anything. But that's their perception. Doesn't necessarily mean it's true. So I don't know what else is going on in the picture. It's a bit of a tricky one here. So remember, it's just their perception. Doesn't necessarily mean it's true. They might feel that you don't finish any tasks or get anything done, even though you're rushing around and doing things. So I don't know. I mean, Hazel might be going through their own stuff at the moment. They might have their own perception about things. I mean, I don't really know what's going on with Hazel. And there might be other stuff going on behind the scenes that I mean, I don't believe that that's what's really happening, but it's their perception of you. So there might be some other stuff going on. It might be that Hazel is very worried and stressed. We've got the Thunderbird here, this worry and stress, but also the sense of trying to sort of gain some knowledge. I think there might be a little bit of yeah, I'm just wondering if they're worried or stressed in some way. That sense of also that sense of I don't know why I said worried and stressed, but I do feel like there's a sense of knowledge gained. It does feel like there's some knowledge gained. So about you gaining more knowledge than them. Ah, that was interesting. Okay, I just thought there was a bit of like they're worried that you're going to have more knowledge. Okay, I think it might be I'm just sort of getting like a jealousy thing about it, or like a sense of maybe scared you're going to be better than them, and that's why they put this perception of you running around doing nothing. Is not necessarily true, but it's what they want to create. It's what they want to feel as you of that you're gaining more knowledge about a situation. I think I'm just getting a sense of jealousy about the whole thing. When I look at this, I'm just getting this real energy about a sense of don't you to be better than them. Sense of like really this whole thing about them not wanting you to be better than them. Soloist. I do get the sense of them not wanting you to be better than them. So maybe that's something that you might need to look at, reflect on. Just wondering if they don't. I get a feeling like they don't want you to be better than them. It's like afraid. So yeah. Okay, I'm just going to try, because you asked, is Peter planning to make any move towards you? Let's just do this first. You're welcome. Welcome. Right, is Peter planning to make any move towards me? Okay, let's do this first. You're welcome. Oh. Okay. Peter planning to make a move towards you. Okay, just well, it's interesting because you've got 3 and 3, so there is that sense of hesitation. Just feel like there's stuff going on. So I'm going to say sort of not at this stage. Not at this stage. Okay, I don't feel like he's going to move towards you at this stage. No, I don't feel like he's planning one at this stage. Feels like a no in the situation. Sarah? Doesn't feel like a no. It feels like very much like a no. He's not planning it at this stage. But I do feel like there's some other stuff going on. He's got some stuff happening behind the scenes. Yeah. Wonder if he's dealt with a loss. I feel like he's been dealing with a loss. So I don't feel he's planning at this moment. I do feel like he's dealing with a loss of some sort. He's got a heavy burden at this moment. Other stuff going on behind the scenes. Yeah. So he might be dealing with loss of some sort. So I don't see him moving towards you at this time. Okay. Right. I think about it. Hey, you're welcome. Just feel he's got some other stuff going on, that's all. Just feel he's got some other stuff going on in his life. So, yeah. I don't know if there's anyone else that wants a reading or anything else happening. Oh, come on. Yeah. So I don't know quite what's going on here. Oh, so I think that's it. So thank you to everyone. Don't forget to check out Ko-Fi. Read the description box down below. Oh, yep. Did it come through again? Whew. I thought I blanked out. Okay. Hi, Yolanda. Hi, Denise. Hopefully that's all worked through. Hope that's all come back online. Hopefully that's all come on. Oh, wow, Denise. Thank you for the donation. Hello. I'm good. Thank you. Denise, thank you for the donation. That's muchly appreciated. General for an in-depth reading. Let's have a look here. Okay. So let me just have a look at... Oh, what's on here? Okay. Played around with me. Right. Okay. Let me come back to your chat. Don't tell me it all deleted. Stream. Okay, so Hopefully it didn't reset and everything. Yeah, definitely. If you'd like a specific question, yeah, type one out. Definitely, Denise. Yeah, go for it. Okay, I don't know quite one here, but we'll see. Right, let's have a look. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. So, yeah, definitely type in a question. Definitely. For sure. Okay. So, hopefully it's all good. Hopefully it didn't. Yeah, type out your question, Denise. I was going to say I was going to end, but I'll do this. No worries at all. Okay, if I was to reach out Vincent, what would his response? Oh, okay. So if you were to reach out to Vincent, let's have a look at this. Okay, talk about it. Right. He's nurturing his ideas and plans, feeling a little trapped with the situation. A long journey. I don't think he's going to respond straight away. I think he's going to be feeling a little bit, he's going to be a little bit trapped in his mind, like he's going to be doing a lot of I feel like he's going to do a lot of thinking. When I look at these two cards together, sense of him having to do a lot of thinking about things, trying to nurture his ideas or his plans, what he thinks. There's a sense of a lot of learning, a lot of being a long journey to the situation. Again, we get that sense of being chained to it. So there might be a sense of, whew, if you were to reach out to Vincent at this moment, I don't think it would be a wise idea. I do feel like he's got a lot of stuff going on in his mind, and this might be adding to it at this time. It's interesting because I keep getting cards like the like there's that sense of being captive, the devil, then we've got the trapper here. So I do feel like he's going to in his mind. So you're waiting until he's ready, and you know he's going through, and that's why you're reluctant. Okay, you've been waiting. That's why. Cool. I think that's a really good idea. I think it's really important. Don't rush into it. That you really take your time. Make sure you plan and strategize what you're doing. So yeah, following your intuition is super important in this thing. It's really looking at things from a different perspective, surrendering. Be careful about I think there is a real need to sacrifice your own wants and needs at this time. I think there's a real need to sacrifice your own wants and needs over this time. I do feel like he's going through I do feel like he's going through a lot. Now, we've got this thing coming in. When you do all this, when you're able to look at things from a different perspective, sacrifice your own wants and needs, there is that sense of coming together. There is that two of vessels, the two of cups sort of thing, that union, that relationship sort of coming together. I think that's really important for you to look at, that giving him time to deal with what he's dealing with and being supportive definitely gives you that connection. So trusting your own intuition is really, really good. Being really gentle and kind, and that sense of really sort of nurturing. Yeah, so more than I paid. Oh, that's cool. So you're really making the change. You're making your changes. You're being very nurturing, being very gentle, and you're able to build. Now, I know we've got the Tower card here, and it can seem like things are doom and gloom, but this is a reminder coming here at the end of the reading. It really does speak of rebuilding a future, rebuilding the path that you want to take, and you're doing that by giving him the space that you need to, by trusting in your own intuition, is super important there. By giving him the space to breathe, being able to sacrifice your own wants and needs at this time to give him time to heal. It's allowing you to sort of connect with him in new ways. It gives you the chance to sort of build the path that you really want. So I think that's really important for you to look at there. Okay, so, oops. I think that's something that you really need to look at. What you're doing is really, really good. So that resonates, right? So let's do your oracle cards here. I'm using the Sacred Path. Okay, so I'm going to use the Sacred Path cards here. So just take a moment. Oops, here we go. First card here is about everything's in movements. Everything's in cycles. So everything's moving as it should do. So it's about being able to acknowledge that. Whoa. So that these two cards flew out. So we've got the ritual of joy. So we've got that thing of being able to celebrate life, being able to be that joy, that inner peace and bliss that he absolutely needs. You don't want to apply pressure any further inadvertently. That's really good. So allowing you to just be joyful, being in the now is a really important, to be able to have that illumination, that clarity. Really feel like you're working to having that clarity in your life. You're in many ways. So I think that's really important for you to sort of acknowledge. Okay, so let's look at the animal spirit animal card here. Yeah. That's perfect. That's really, I think you're really this is really confirmation. You're on the right path. You're doing the right stuff. Okay, you're really doing that. I love this. You've got Chameleon Spirit, acting as if everything's, you know, you're good. Everything's acting as, you're acting as though everything, you're there, you're supporting him, you're doing what needs to be done. You're allowing things to sort of change and develop as they need to. I really like that. Let me see what the Chameleon Spirit, the book. Let me see if I can find what I did with the book. It's underneath here. So let's look at this here, Chameleon Spirit. Right, this is number 14. Let's have a look and see what the book actually says. Okay, Chameleon Spirit shares her gift with you today to prepare you for changes that will greatly benefit you. Outer conditions are changing and you're required to come into harmony with them so you can co-create your greatest dream. Feeling sensitive, good, because that will come in handy, enabling you to determine how best to adapt. Oh, it's so confirmation. Your environment and the people in it, while at the same time maintaining your integrity and inner equilibrium. Even if you feeling like you're in uncharted territory, Chameleon Spirit has complete faith in your ability to fit in and learn the lay of the land, adapting as necessary. This is a fortunate time to act as if and do as others do until the new ways feel familiar and completely natural. Life is offering you a great lesson now. Adapting isn't about losing yourself. It's about learning how to dance with others. Being sensitive and having empathy for others can be a burden if you don't practice self-care as well. So a reminder to take care of yourself well, making sure that you don't feel stressed, that you're in tune to any challenging emotions that aren't yours. Chameleon Spirit does not want you to adapt to these conditions by withdrawing or distracting yourself, hoping the feelings will just go away, or attempting to rescue another who may be having a pity party. You can be swallowed up trying to manage it all. It is time to figure out where you end and the rest of the world begins. Not all conditions are yours to match. You need to distinguish your own color from the rest of the world right now. Take time out to soothe your sensitive soul. Choose some activities that will restore your sense of being grounded and avoid people who revel in drama. Take a break from social media too. Self-care and a timeout is the answer to this temporary dilemma. So it's just a reminder to actually take care of yourself as well. Don't, even though you're taking care of his needs, don't forget to take care of your own. Make sure you have a little bit of pampering and self-care. I think that's really important. So let's just throw in a crystal oracle here. Oh, actually, I won't do that one. I'll do this one here, because I think this is really a benefit to you. Okay, so I'm doing a crystal alley card at the moment. So just take a minute, take a breath, and just think about the crystal card. Oh, that card here jumped out. So the card we have here is about divine connection with Amethyst. And that's exactly what you guys have. You have that division, but it also is about connecting to the divine within oneself, connecting to the divine spirit in many ways. So I'm just trying to find the book, because I want to look at the affirmation. Sorry, it's a bit of a, I wasn't thinking of doing this book, but I think it's really important. Here we go. So we're looking at Amethyst, right? So this is going to be a really good, this is wind, this is air, wind energy. So let's just have a look at this little bit for a minute. So this is quite, I feel like this is quite important for you. So let's have a look at, okay, so it is Amethyst, divine connection. So this is about your third eye and your crown chakra, right? I'm open to divine guidance. When Amethyst enters your card, Spirit is sending you a message. Alert for opportunities, messages or signs that may indicate the direction the divine, your higher self, and your highest guides are preparing for you. These signs may come in a form of intuition, a hunch, or a gut feeling. You're being sent a wake-up call and a message to prepare for the working of the divine in your life. This card may indicate that your current direction is aligned with your highest path. The Amethyst may also be telling you to attend to your divine connection more consciously. Dedicate yourself to making space in your life each day to open to the quiet voice of the divine within you. Your monkey mind may be clouding your ability to receive vital information or messages. Meditation will assist you in quietening the mental noise and being more attentive to the true voice of Spirit. By opening to and acting upon guidance, intuition that you receive, you are cultivating a relationship with the higher mind. Okay, so it's about opening and clearing of the channel and facilitates a consistent meditation practice. It is then your job to use that connection to develop your divine connection. Okay, so this is where I felt like that was really important, about connecting to your divine. Okay, so hopefully that gives you some information that helps. Okay, so let's sort of put those away. Okay, so hopefully that gives you some answers there. Really gives you confirmation you're on the right path, you're doing all the right things. Just remember, you've got to take care of yourself as well. I know that you're not, maybe, you know, you're not connecting with him solely because you need to give him space, but also don't forget about yourself as well, making sure that you nurture your energy as well. Oh my God, do you want to donate one more time? Oh my God, you're a sweetheart. Hi, G. Okay, donations, right. So I'm just gonna, so I just need your, oh, come on. I'm just doing donations. So I'm re-embracing that. I've been working a lot, to be honest. Oh, cool. Reducing your workload. Cool. Cool. Now you're donated again, so let's just stay logged in. So I'm just waiting for your donation. just doing donations at the moment because I'm just waiting for Denise's donation. So just see what happens here. Right, another full reading. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, because you have donated a second time, I'm not going to use the same deck. I'm actually going to use, no, just let me just grab the Forhaxa Tarot. Okay, so this is a donation one I'm doing. Okay, so this is donation reading. Right, so I'm going to use the Forhaxa and I'm going to use the Healers of the Earth Oracle for you with the donation reading. So let me just grab these, put that to one side. Right, so I'm doing donations at the moment. So I was going to finish up, but Denise has just given me a couple of donation readings because I've been on for a while here. So I'm going to do these donation ones. So right. So your question is, let's have a look. Oh, stress-related hearing tomorrow. Okay, so this is an interesting one. Okay, let me just remove this box. Oh, nice deep breath. Stress-related hearing tomorrow. Okay. Let's have a look. What are we looking at here? First, we've got 10 of water. So it tells us it's a positive outcome. It does feel like a positive outcome to the situation. It does feel like everything's sort of going to come together. It's definitely interesting. It does feel like there is a sense of hope and dream. So that's interesting with 10 of water. And then you've got the Elder of Water. So that's like the king. So don't let your emotions get the better of you, though. Or you made time and personal reliability, performance mistakes more than usual. So it does feel like everything's going to be okay, but don't let your emotions get the better of you. Don't let your emotions, take a deep breath, Denise. Okay, when you go for your hearing, don't let your emotions get the better of you. Okay, I think that's really important to just take a deep breath. Allow yourself not to let your emotions get the better of you. Have faith. Have faith in yourself. Okay, you made a mistake. Okay, it's really about having faith. Look at the lessons you've learned from the experience. Okay, this is very much about talking about what experiences have you learned, what have you learned from this experience? What lessons have you learned from this experience? Okay, that's something that you really need to look at. It's asking about having faith in yourself, but looking at what lessons have you actually learned from this experience? What have you taken away from what's been happening here? What allows you to, it's also important that you stand up for your convictions as well. There is a time for you just to, now when I'm talking about being assertive or being confident, I'm not talking about being aggressive or being shouting or, you know, you do need to make sure that you stand up for yourself and look at what lessons have you learned from the situation? What needs to change? You know, look at saying to yourself, okay, this is what I need to do. Is, you know, what do I need to change in this situation so that I won't make these mistakes, these errors again, the performance mistakes again? What, you know, what needs to change? When I talk about standing up for your convictions, it's about standing up for yourself. Don't let yourself be bullied. don't let them belittle you. Okay, honoring your mistakes is good, but don't let them belittle you. Don't let them say to you that you're hopeless and you're, you know, remember in yourself, when I'm talking about standing up from your convictions, I'm not telling you to shout and that sort of stuff, but know in your heart, know within yourself why you made the mistakes, and being able to honor those mistakes and enabling you to sort of really, you know, I'm just talking about as though you're hopeless. Okay, so that's cool. So you can live more time effective. Okay, so how can you be more effective? What do you need to do? Things like alarms, or you know, how can you make sure that you arrive on time and things like that? Okay, so this is really important stuff to look at. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, so this is interesting because 8 fire and 8 of earth stood out. So 8 of fire is about things happening quite around you. I think sometimes time can sort of run away from you. So you've got to be a little more conscious of time. So you've got more, you know, you've got to be more aware of your time, because things can get away with you in regards to time. Things move quite quickly and suddenly you're late, or things like that. So the thing about timing is really important. And then you've got the finishing of tasks with 8 of earth, being able to have that sense of closure, schedule, sleep. Yeah, so these are the things that you can actually physically do for yourself. So that's really important there, Denise. So that's really important that you're able to do those things and think about what needs to be done. So you need to show your work, you know, when you're going for your hearing tomorrow, you need to talk about these things that create a new sleeping schedule, that, you know, you're nurturing yourself better, eating better, you're living in a better environment. I think that's really important. Being able to finish tasks, be able to complete your to-do list is really important. Those tasks that you're creating for yourself, being able to complete them is super, super important here. Okay, so yeah, that is really important. Here you've got 4 of water, so making sure that you take some time out for yourself, resting your emotional needs. Taking care of your emotional needs is really important here. Okay, so I know this can be about so what are you dissatisfied with? Also, it's asking you, what are you dissatisfied with? And being able to look at that. So maybe it's about finding a better roommate, finding a better place to live if possible, being able to sort of make sure that you don't allow your roommates to stress you out, by making sure that your space is tidy. Don't worry about your roommate stuff. I can understand that. I can understand that, being in those situations. Yeah, if you stay in your room and come home, and yeah, and you need to find a way to either accept where you are or make the changes that you need. But resting and taking care of yourself is number 1. And then you've got 6 of fire. Now it talks about victory and success, but you've got to be able to maintain that success. You've got to be able to maintain that victory. Okay, you've got to be able to, once you've actually done what you need to do for yourself and actually take care of you, okay, it does talk about maintaining that success. Okay, so you're getting things working in the right direction. Yeah. And I know things are a bit of a nightmare, things are worry and you're stressed, okay? And I know it is a bit of a thing, and I realize that. So it's about being able to ask for help too. Who can you ask? Okay, who can you ask for help? You know, can you ask Is there someone that you can say, hey, look, can you help me, guide me? Is there a budget advisor? Is there a community service? Is there a community service that you can actually ask for some help? Is there someone that can support you? Is there someone that you work with that will support you, that can help you and guide you and maybe point you in the right direction? Does talk about asking for help, because I know things are a bit of a nightmare. Things are a lot of stress and a lot of worry, and it's going to be like that for a little while. But it's about having someone. Oh, good. Fingers crossed then. Hopefully you'll get someone that's going to help you and guide you. Oh, okay. Card that popped up is intensity. There is intense feelings. Everything's feeling very intense at the moment for you. It does feel very overwhelming. I get that. Cool. You've got resources made available to you. Cool. And you're able to adapt that situation. Okay, so we're looking here about also connecting with your divine feminine. Okay, being able to connect with who you are as a person, as an individual, and acknowledging those, being able to be receptive of the help and the guidance and what's important to you, and knowing there's going to be moments. Okay, there are still going to be moments of minor setbacks, maybe even some delays, and maybe you might even find yourself with some roadblocks, and being able to find a way to overcome those moments. Okay, I do feel like there's a way to overcome those challenges for you. Oh, thank you, Savannah. Thank you. Appreciate the donations. Okay, so that's really important here, to be able to have that ability to overcome these challenges. Now that you've sort of set yourself on the path, I definitely feel as though you're going to have that ability to move forward. So let's look at the angel. I just feel like there's an angel crying out here. So let's have a look at some, just grab you an angel card with this one here. Okay, we've got chakra balancing angel. Okay, so maybe working with some meditations in regards to your chakra work. There is that possibility of connecting with your chakra balancing. I mean, maybe if you want to do a meditation or a reflection in regards to that, maybe you want a small chakra energy work or something like that. There is some really good thing. It's about manifesting exactly what you want to do by the actions that you take. It's all about the actions that you take. You definitely need to be hopeful. I do feel as though you're going to be a lot more better. You may be interested in investing in some sort of chakra, Reiki, energy healing type service from someone, or if you want to do it, unless you want to do it yourself, there are some services that are available. You might find someone that you're connecting with who can help you do some research. There's always people that are willing to help, which is really, really cool. So yeah, sleep more to calming music. That's really cool. So it's about manifesting what you desire and doing the actions, the work that you actually need to do, making sure that, again, that you stay calm, that you do your chakra energy work, meditations. Do some guided meditations, Denise. That could be a really help. Yeah, massage therapy like that, Reiki healing, chakra realignments, transcendental, dimensional healing. There's lots and lots of different types of energy healings that can be really beneficial. The massage therapy, yeah, if you can go to someone once a month or something like that, or once every few months for some massage, that would be really, or reflexology if you don't mind your feet being touched. That can be really beneficial as well, Denise. So yeah, I think that could be something that could be really, really beneficial to you. So hopefully that gives you some guidance, gives you some help there. Yeah, salt baths are great. I have a Himalayan salt. Unfortunately, I don't have a bath, but I do have a shower. But Himalayan salt is really good for clearing away all the negative energy. Working with crystals can be really beneficial. Anything like that, indeed. Like rose quartz is really, really good for that love, self-love, which is really cool. Of course, you've got your clear quartz and your amethyst as well. Lepidolite's great for balancing out all your chakras. So yeah, so let's look at, so that's done. Did a I feel like I'm going to do this interesting. Okay, so we've got a, now why is it got pending? Doesn't normally do. Okay, a small reading. Yep, so Savannah donated. Yes, you did. What was your question? It's got a is pending, so I don't know what that means. Okay, so it must be a, okay. You're welcome, Denise. You're welcome. Okay, so we're just looking for Savannah's question here. Okay, so you've got this one here. You donated. So what did Kyle think about an encounter? Okay, so just using the Meraki Tarot here. Kunal, you don't need to keep typing in your question. Once is enough. I'm doing donations at the moment, so if you keep spamming the oh hi Lovity, if you keep spamming you will be banned. Don't keep spamming the chat, please. Once is enough. I've got a program and it just does it automatically, so you don't need to worry. You only need to type in your question once. What did Kyle think about encounter? Okay, Savannah. Thanks, G. Oh, Lovity, thanks for the donation. Okay, got a sense of creative energy, but here, a bit of desire. With a sense of tasks achieved. It's interesting with the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like there's a task that needed to be achieved or needed to be things. So it feels like there's an achievement. He felt like there was achievement of you going there. Definitely feels like there was felt like there was a sense of passion in some way, a desire. Feels like it's created some memories. Okay, I felt like you created some memories. Kyle thinks of the encounter as creating things here. We have some memories created. You were intimate. Okay, so that's why there were memories here. Okay, and we've got the Hanged Man. So now he's looking at other options available, maybe looking at things from a different perspective. in the whole situation. So I do feel like there was a shift in the way things. So I do feel like it was great. Okay, so I'm just going to do you one more card here. So I do feel as though there was a really good positive energy with it. Did feel very, very positive. It did feel like there was an achievement to the whole thing. It felt very cleansing. It felt a very cleansing energy, like the releasing of all the clutter, all the hesitation. Yeah. So I felt like it was really positive. It was a real purifying sort of experience. That way, it sort of cleared away a lot of the unsurety, things being unsure. Yeah, definitely feels very positive. It feels very loving energy. It does feel like there's a light out of all this darkness. It does feel like things are sort of moving in a much of energy. Yeah, so I don't think you need to worry. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy each step of the way. Okay, I think that's really important here, to just enjoy the journey. I think you really got to enjoy the journey with it. Or just take one day at a time, Savannah. So hopefully that's really cool. Now, Loverty, you donated too. So let's have a look at what you with the donation. So let's have a look at your donation. Really appreciate that indeed. Okay. So you're looking at Ricky's feelings for you. No. Savannah, not options. No. Not as in other people. No. Looking at other options and what's available to your path. Not, what path does he choose to take with you? Where does your relationship go from here? Basically, not other people. I didn't see it as other people. When I was talking, I didn't see it as other people. I thought it was more about, your direction, your relationship will go. Okay, so what's Ricky's feelings towards you? Oh, now this popped out straight away. So the first card we have is Three of Swords, which is interesting. So what was there about heartbreak? I'm doing donated readings at the moment. Donations take priority. See description box below. I will give you a free tarot reading, but you just have to wait. I may run out of time. I've already been on for 2 hours, basically. So here we've got the sense of heart. For some reason, I feel a sense of heartbreak. I don't know whether he's dealing with heartbreak himself at the moment. And here we've got the Knight of Swords, scared to rush in. So he may have been dealing with some old heartbreak. So he's scared to rush into anything. Maybe. That's what's sort of feeling here. Of sort of nurturing the truth of the situation, maybe out nurturing the ideas and everything like that. Okay, Loverty, so might be looking at, maybe he's been dealing with some past hurts and needing to sort of be scared. He's a little bit scared to be rushing into the situation at the thing here. So it's all about nurturing the facts, the ideas of it. Oh, sorry, sweet. It's Three of Swords, Knight of Swords, and Queen of Swords. So it's all about the mind. I feel like it's got his own mind. He's wrapped up in his own perceptions, and he's got to try and work through the perceptions. He's working through the perceptions, the ideas. Here. One more card. So maybe it's about he's trying to put his emotions to one side. Or you're separated. Oh, okay. So that's why he's maybe dealing some heartbreak. Okay. So really about he's trying to put his emotions to one side. We've got the King of Cups here. So he might be trying to put his emotions to one side. So that's maybe why he's dealing with some heartbreak. Okay. And he's not sure about rush. It's like he doesn't want to rush into things. And so it's about nurturing the facts and ideas about the whole situation and maybe putting his feelings to one side. Lovity. So he might be trying to put his feelings to one side. Even though he's kind and caring and all that sort of thing, it might be that he's trying to sort of, here we've got the sense of you listening to your own intuition, listening to your clear audience, listening to the guidance that you receive within yourself. Lovity. I think you need to sort of trust. I think there's a lot of hesitation, and I think it's just about listening to your own intuition, listening to your own messages that arrive within yourself. That seems really important there, the dolphin song. Listening, guidance, and clear audience. I feel it's about you listening to your own intuition, listening to your own messages that lie within you. I think you sort of know what's sort of going on within yourself. So, G. Thank you, G. That's appreciated there. I don't know if anyone else has donated here. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute here. Oh, that's so appreciated. So no, we're all good. So G, hi. Thanks for being here. Oh, because she wasn't here to do that, so I wasn't going to show that through. Okay, so just trying to work this out. Just waiting for this to come up. Just going through this a second. Just takes a minute. Right, so let me have a look at these. The G's come up quite a bit, so you're okay, and Lovity. Okay, so just give me a second to go through. Oops. And Lovity. You're both people who have been around a little while. Okay, so I know you two have been around for a bit, so good. G. Okay, just give me a second. Let me just clear away this energy from these readings. Let me just clear this away. Okay. Okay, so we know what's going on here. So let's just do this. G. Okay. Whoops. I was thinking about your question and what popped out. Okay. First things first. You've got Queen of Swords and Four of Coins. So what are you actually holding on to, or what's being held? Definitely feels about looking at the facts of the truth of the situation, nurturing that idea, that plan. But I do get a sense of Queen of Swords can also be about looking at the facts. I feel like there's a sense of nurturing, looking at the facts of the situation is really important here. So what's being held on to? What's he holding on to in regards to it? There's this feeling of, we got Five of Swords here as well, popped down. These are the three cards that popped down. I think that was all. It sort of popped out together, so I just added them in, G. So I do feel like there's a sense of feeling defeated. He's feeling, I don't know, he's feeling defeated, feeling like he's in a no-ation, feeling like he's holding on to something. So there might be he might be nurturing this ideal, this idea he's got in his head. He's nurturing this perception he has in what he's holding on to. Okay, so his energy might be feeling like he's in a no-win type situation for some reason. Or you're working on improving your friendship. Feels like he's holding on to something. Feels like something hasn't quite been let go of. And he's feeling like he's in a no-win situation in some sort. So was there a quarrel or a disagreement on something? Now, you might not think it's major, but I feel like he might be holding on to this quarrel or this disagreement in some way. G. So I'm wondering if he realizes that he's actually holding something. Oh, that didn't prove that I wanted it to. I did add you. Yeah, cool. Okay, G, you feel as though he's holding on to something. I don't know if it was a quarrel or a disagreement. It may not be. Oh, no quarrel with you. Okay. It wasn't a disagreement or something. It might not be anything major, but it just felt like there was a quarrel or a disagreement he's holding on to. I'm also wondering if he's sort of taking it out on you in some way. It might be with somebody else. Maybe it could be a third party. I'm just quite sure because I don't quite have enough. He went a bit distant, and we were just started communicating again. So I'm wondering if a third party had something to do with it. You know how you get that third, I keep getting like a third person. Just wondering if there's that third person. Gee. This is like a third person. Sort of like the putting in the whispers in the ear. Because I've just got that image of the Rider-Waite Smith. Let's do this. I just want to show you the reason why I get this in a way. Let's see if I can. Stick, yep, cool. So I'm just, what I'm picking up here is this third, like there was a third person sort of stirring the pot, so to speak, which is why there was that distance between you. Let me get the Five of Swords and I'll show you what I mean. I hate it when you're looking for the card and you can't find what you're actually looking for. I keep getting shown this Five of Swords like in the traditional Waite Smith type imagery, or Rider-Waite Smith type imagery. Here. I get like this person here has stirred it between you two, which is mostly why you felt distance. It's like trying to split you up. That's the sort of feeling I got. Like this person is trying to split the two of you up, or trying to, even though it might be friendship, but they still don't want that getting any closer. Sometimes people can be a bit funny. So I'm just wondering. You couldn't understand why he suddenly changed. Yeah, so it's really important for you to nurture. Definitely feels like nurture physically the relationship. Definitely feel like there's a physical nurturing. Definitely feels like there's a sense of you sort of, again, I get a feeling of you needing to sort of take charge in a way and sort of show him that things are not as this other person has stirred. So I'm getting a sense of you sort of being a bit of a queen of coins in this situation, is sort of, again, being quite firm, being a little assertive. I want to say being a little assertive. I'll talk about you being a little assertive maybe in this situation, not being aggressive, being sort of standing up and sort of saying, hey, look, this is me, this is what I'm about. So yeah, that's why you're feeling a bit distant. I do feel like someone is stirring. So I do feel like, I think you need to communicate in some way, or show maybe show. Well, I've been on for over 2. I'm getting ready to clear away. Right, donation readings. There. So yeah, so G, I hope that would help. Yeah, I think that being able to communicate with him and sort of show, well, connection. Okay, being able to show what needs to, take care of the needs, to show them the friendship, being that. Yeah, so sorry, I know there seems to be a connection thing. Don't keep, just make sure you read the description box below. I'm just having a look at the questions from the freebies. Just give me a minute here to go through. I've just done the donations and things like, so just give me a minute to go through and see what we've got here for questions. So I'm not quite sure who's still here. And I want you to think about your question. Think about what empowers you. Questions can be a little bit random. So we're not talking about how someone feels about, thinking about, you need to tell me if you're asking about someone, whether it's a friendship, a relationship, whether it's work related. Sorry, excuse me. If you're asking a question about how someone feels about you, you need to tell me whether it's a romantic interest, a crush, a relationship, whether it's a work colleague, whether it's a friendship, whether it's family. You need to tell me what you want. If you're asking about how someone wants, oh, thank you for the donation. Wow, thank you very, very much. That's very, very much appreciated. Wow, thank you. Thank you very, very much for donation. Yes, definitely, Disha. So you've got a question there, Disha? Wow, thank you very much for the donation. Muchly, muchly appreciated. Wow, thank you. Yeah, I saw that there. Just need your question, Disha. Let me see. Have you typed in question here? Thank you very, very much for doing. Very muchly appreciated. Let me just put it. Yep. Just need your question, Disha, please. Yep, certainly. Thank you. Definitely appreciate it. It's really nice to be appreciated for the reading. Right, so for donation here. So what are we going to do for you? Let's get something special. Let's do okay. Let's do sorry, I just have to do a little bit of a search here while I get the deck for me. Just getting a deck out. Ooh, okay. Okay, no, I'm going to do this one here, Elemental Power Tarot. Okay, and I am going to use, right, let's have a look. Nikki's True Feelings for me. Oh, interesting. Okay. So, just give me a minute. Let me throw this box over here. Okay, I'm going to use the Elemental Power Tarot. This is a very special tarot deck. I don't use this very often, but it is a beautiful deck. So let me have a look here. What are Nikki's true feelings for you? Do you hold any future together? Or do you think it'll be short term, long term? Let's have a look at what the relationship. So what's the foundation of this relationship? Let's have a look here, Disha. So let's type that in. Let's put that in over there. Okay. Let's have a look about the relationship. Okay. Now the Hierophant here is looking at what lessons you may need to learn, some lessons from this situation. So this is something that this could be something about having faith in the relationship. Okay. Feels like there's one of hope, of wishes coming true, of things working out the way that you want them to. Okay. It could be that sense of seeing the light out of the darkness as well. Really interesting. Now, it's asking you to be careful that you're not repeating patterns, that you're not getting yourself chained from taking the risk. Okay, because I feel this is a relationship that's going to ask of faith, that you've got light at the end of the tunnel, that there's light out of the darkness. But be careful that you're not chaining yourself to the past. You're not worried. You're not keeping yourself by looking at old habits and things like that. I feel it's very much about old habits and things like that coming into it. It does ask you to make some shifts, some achievements, moving into a new cycle of new possibilities in regard to the past. I feel like this Devil card is very much about the past habits, past patterns and things like that. Okay, so Disha, I really believe for you personally that this is a great relationship for you to develop and learn and grow. And I do feel like there's a light out of all the darkness of it, but it's making sure you don't bring old stuff into this current relationship. Okay, don't bring old stuff into this current relationship. I think there's a feels like there could be a real achievement for you as you move into new possibilities, a new path for you. It really is about moving into new possibilities. Now I'm going to do a little extra here. So I'm doing the Healers of the Earth Oracle here. So I do feel like this could be a really good relationship for you. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a long term. relationship, but it definitely feels like it's a positive one for now. Definitely feels like being in the moment. You know, don't be scared to take a risk. I feel like you're chaining yourself to the past here. It tells you, wow, it does talk about a dining table. So it's talking about dating, going on a social gathering, nourishing your soul. Okay, so I do feel like this is a real dating situation. This is just about being in the moment. Definitely feels like there is it definitely feels like there's a connection, because we're talking about going out for dinner, going out for dates. I think it's just about enjoying your time together, being in the now is what I'm getting here, and knowing that there is a light out of all the darkness and stuff. I do feel like you're going to enjoy yourself, but be careful that you're not hesitating because of past experiences. I do feel like past experiences could influence you in making your decision, but of course, totally up to you what you do in the long run. But are you ready to take a bit of a risk and move into a new cycle of possibilities? So yeah, I do think you know, there is a possibility. Now, it may not be long term, but it's how you choose to be in the moment. It's about not letting the past influence you too much. Your past experiences influence you, Disha. So I hope that sort of gives you some insight into the situation. I just keep getting, I feel like, here it is. Sorry, we'll keep doing these going into, sometimes when you've donated and things like that, you may get a little extra every now and then. So I'm just going to do a Greenwich Oracle card. Now this is a plant purification, so it could be about cleansing away past experiences, being able to look at past experiences and really clearing them away, breaking free those chains so that you can bloom and grow and develop in some way. So I think that's really important to purify, to cleanse away. So let's just have a look. I just want to have a look and see what this purification spell is with snapdragons, actually. So this is card number 41. Oh, picked up straight away. Here we go. Purification spell. Create a tiny talisman to cleanse your aura, your perception. Place 3 snapdragon flowers and air dry clay upon wax and roll into a ball. The size can be any that you desire. Decorate with a pearl by pushing them into a bale by pushing them into the clay. So this is really about inner strength, perception, reversal, and finances. Exorcism. Deities are Eris, Loki, Odin, and Set. Celestial is Mars. Astrological sign Gemini. Snapdragons indicate you have within you all you require. They bring you energy to focus your recourses and bring your ideas into fruition. Accurate and unbiased observation is called for. So don't hesitate to ask for a little more time. Reversals of roles, fortune, and even outcomes could be coming. Don't become too ruthless or scatter yourself too far. A project that is close to you could fail if you sort of push too hard. So it's definitely about just being in the moment, enjoying part of the journey, taking away the old so the new can come into fruition. So I hope it gives you some guidance for you, right? Okay. I'm hoping that sort of helps and gives you some guidance there. Okay. I am sort of putting decks away as I move, otherwise I end up in such a huge mess with living in such a tiny space, living in a caravan all the time. So it is important to, oh, I didn't even put the cards away, put the box away. I think you just got to trust that everything's going to be okay. It definitely feels like he cares about you, but I think it's a lot about you just not worrying about just don't worry about it in journey. So Deisha, I think it's listen to the reading and just really do some, don't bring in the past. I do feel like there's a light. So it does tell me there's a light out of the darkness. So I do feel like he does care. Like everything's going to be A-okay. I do feel like he cares. Now I've put the cards away. I've forgotten what I actually said to you, but yeah, I do think you'd sort of just take a breath. It'll be okay. Right. Donation readings. How are we doing? So has anyone else donated? Just let me know so I know where I'm at. So, gee, thank you for all that. That's been a huge help. Just want to try and put some of these decks away because I'm sort of getting a little untidy here. Just give me a minute to breathe. So I'm just seeing if I've got any more donations because I am thinking I'm going to have to close up soon. Oops, didn't mean to do that. So, right, just take a breath for a minute, guys. Some of these decks away because I've got a bit of a mess here and I can't breathe and I'm a little untidy. Let me put some of these Hay House sticks away that I worked with earlier. I used. So just give me a minute. I should really leave that one out. Spirit animal. All right, let me get some of these away. Okay, so what I want to know is who's actually here. I don't need your question or anything like that. All I need to know is who's still here. Let me know if you're still here and you want a reading. So all you have to say is, yes, please, I'm still here, and yes, I'd love a reading. That's all I need to know. I don't need your question or anything like that. Just, hello, I'm here. I'd love a reading. That's all I need to know right now. And then I will go through. Just give me a minute to go through. Yep, those are here. Just say yes, that's it. That's all I need to know. Okay, just let me know who's here. Cool. That's all I need to know. Right, this one. Right, let's pull those away. That's a good start. All those oracle decks. Okay. Right, I'm actually going to use my tarot. And let's have a look. So who's still here? Just give me a minute to think here. Yep, cool. Thanks, Crispin. Yep. Sarita, right. Okay, so just give me a second here. I just want to do something. So I am going to just do that. Right. Okay, so just do this. Do stop that. So let me just do something here. Okay, so let me just do this. Right, cool. Thank you. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so just waiting a second. Right, okay, Chrysalin, and okay, so Chrysalin has a question. Okay, so no, she just said, oh yeah, Chrysalin. Right. Okay, Chrysalin and Sabrita. Right, okay, so Chrysalin first. Current thoughts. Okay, so I need to know who this Aquarius is. You need to tell me whether it's a romantic relationship or, yeah, you put questions in, but I need to know whether it's a romantic relationship or friend or what. Well, you didn't say you were here, so I hadn't thought it. Yeah, if you're still here, you're on my list. Okay, cool, thank you. He's an ex. Okay, thank you. Current feelings and thoughts of Aquarius towards you, and he's an ex. Okay, so let's have a look. Feelings and Aquarius towards you, right, and he's an ex. Okay, so you've got Page of Pentacles. It feels very much about lessons learned. Okay, you're talking about an ex here. So straight away I'm getting a sense of there was lessons that needed to be learned here. There was a message that you needed to discover with the Page of Pentacles here. So it feels like there's a lot for you to learn about the situation. He was an ex. Why was he an ex? You need to look at the reason why he's an ex. Okay, you need to look at what happened, what was said, what was done. You need to look at the message that you're being given here. Okay, it really doesn't matter how he feels and what his thoughts are towards you. Okay, it doesn't really matter. It's more about what lessons are you learning from the situation. Okay, what lessons are you actually learning from the situation? What message have you actually received from this situation? That's what's really important. Thanks, G. Muchly appreciated for that. That's awesome. That makes a big help to me. Okay, Chrysalin. So really looking at what lessons have you actually learned from the situation? What messages have you actually got from this situation? From this, why is he an ex? What happened? You need to really look at the facts of the situation. Look at the passions, the energy of it. Look at the physical action taken in this situation. Okay, this is a reminder for you to stay grounded. Stay grounded. Don't let your passions overwhelm you either in this situation, or your desires. Don't let your desires overwhelm you. I think it's really important that you look at yourself and look at the lessons that you've actually learned from the situation. What's the message that you can take from him being your ex? That's what you've got to look at, okay, in the situation here. Okay, so that's really important. Okay, so next question is Fatima de Virgo, and what are current feelings of my virtual ex towards me? Is there a possibility of a reconciliation? Is there a possibility of a reconciliation? Okay, so interesting. Okay, so if I get an overall picture of this, it's interesting because I get all 5 cards here. We've got some new beginnings coming up, and we've got the universe with the ending. So we've got, it definitely feels as though there's an ending to the situation. So there might be a sense of a new beginning, but it will end. It'll be short term. If he comes back, it's going to be very short term situation. There is about looking at, what are you afraid of in regards to a self-analyzing oneself, awakening oneself, being truthful to oneself. What lessons can you learn from this situation? Again, you're looking at your ex. Okay, why was he an ex? What was needing to come back? So there's a lot about, yes, there might be a reconciliation, but I feel it's going to be very short-term situation. It's just going to be a phase of a situation. Okay, so even if he does come back, I do feel like there's still going to be that sense of short-term stuff. There is a sense of what are you actually afraid of moving forward. Okay, of self-analyzing oneself. So you need to analyze yourself in some way, awaken in some way. We have the 10 of Cups, so we've got to find a way to find a sense of wholeness within yourself, find a sense of happiness within yourself, within your own emotions. Now cards flew out, so I just used them in the reading, even though you would not normally get this many. Okay, but you are a new subscriber, so we are going to just do this for a moment. It just all popped out. So it seemed really important for me to just say that there is, will he come back? The answer is yes, but it may be short-term situation. It really is about asking, what are you afraid of? What are you, an awakening to oneself and being alone, maybe, and moving forward and finding your own happiness, your own joy. So maybe something that you need to reflect on. Okay, just some stuff that you might need to reflect on here. Okay, so going back to this here. Whoops. Hate it when the computer does this. Right. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on. I've already been on for nearly 3 hours. So right. So here we've got. Right, let me go back. I'm just going to skim back a little bit here, because I've got to get another question, but it's way back. So let me just go through, because there were some donations in between when this person actually arrived. Oops, I went straight past it. Right, here we go. Right, okay, so that's cool. You're on the list. Don't worry. Just give me a minute. Right, Hassan's current feelings and actions towards you. Okay, interesting cards that popped out here. We've got 2 cards popped out. Here we've got the 5 of Cups. So I feel like you're focusing very much about, or maybe even Hassan might be feeling about, what's he actually focusing on, might be focusing on more maybe the negative aspects of it. Might be feeling like, what can he control in the relationship? There are some things that can be controlled and some things that cannot. I will, G, no worries. No worries, I'll let you know. So really important for you to focus on, I think there's a sense of focusing on what you can and cannot control. I think there's, you look asking what's his feelings and his actions towards you. I do feel like maybe he's too busy focusing on maybe what he cannot control instead of what he can. There is a sense of maybe not putting his emotions, he might be putting his emotions to one side, trying to be sort of practical in the approach to the relationship on some way. Does give you that sense of, I just don't feel like there is going to be any action straight away. I do feel like busy focusing on what he can't control, doing the what if stuff. So depending on who Hassan actually is, I do feel like he's just putting his emotion, I do feel like he's trying to be quite practical in the situation instead of emotional. Does feel like he might be kind, but he's just not really letting his emotions show. Okay, so I just don't feel like there's much going on there. It just feels like he's not going to be putting his emotions out into the world, so to speak. Okay, where are we up to? Right, thank you. Take a second, right? Everything takes quite a bit of time. Jaya, can you ask another question instead of about your exams? We know what the results will be. Hi, how will be July? Oh, good question. Oh, shoot. Okay, how will July be from a job point of view? That's a great question, Shika. Great question. How will July from a job point of view? Okay, so July for jobs. July for jobs. Okay. 4 of Pentacles. It's a reminder that there might be some stuff that you need to put aside. Okay, straight away I got the need to put something aside. So you might need to put some money aside. And it talks about celebrating. Maybe this contract, or it could be about a contract coming up in regards to a job point of view. So there might be a review of your contract coming up for maybe. I don't know if you've got a contract coming up for work, for a job point of view, but it does talk about putting something aside. So there might be some things that you might need to put aside in regards to finances or money, in regards to so I don't know if you've got a job or but I do feel like there's something to do with a contract coming out. But there could be a contract in regards to working. So think about questions that you've never asked before. A completely different topic, a different subject. Something completely different. You've never asked another reader. You've never asked me. Different reading. Completely different topic. Different subject. Something interesting. So, Dipshikta, I really feel like for work, it's definitely about putting something aside in some way. I do feel like there's a sense of putting something aside for another time, and definitely about a celebration contract coming into play. Okay, so I do feel like there's a contract, a celebration coming together sort of energy. Okay. Hey, Pretty, I've already done your reading. You have to scroll back. You only have to type your question in once. Don't keep typing your question. I've already done it. Don't need to type it in again. Once I've got a program that shows up your right, feelings of boyfriend. Oh, so will he contact you today? Let me have a look. Let me use the Spanish tarot. That's the best one if you're going to do the yes and no questions. Feelings of my boyfriend. Will he contact? Having cold vibes. No talk since 2 days. Well, he's obviously got some other stuff going on. Never asked whether he's got some other stuff going on. So this is really important here. So let's have a look. You're looking at, will he contact you? You're not saying that he might be busy. He might have some other stuff going on. I mean, you don't know whether dealing with some personal stuff happening. So, oh, okay. Nope, he's not going to contact you today. He might do. Wait a minute, what have we got here? 2? No, so that's a 3. That's a sun. No, that's upside. That's the right way. So this is up. No, definitely no contact today. But he may have some other stuff going on, Kachani. He may have some other stuff happening. So, no, he's not going to contact you at all. But you didn't ask what's going on. You know, what's going on with him today. So let's have a look what's going on. I just want to show you the difference between a yes and no questions. Will he contact you today? No, he won't. So what's going on with your boyfriend, JD? Let's have a look and see what's actually going on with him. So here we've got the Knight of Pentacles. He's on a journey. He's got some stuff that he's dealing with. Okay, he's definitely got some stuff that he's dealing with. He got the Page of Swords. It does feel like he's got some stuff on his mind. Okay, so he has got some stuff that he's really dealing with at the time. He's got some stuff on his mind, and that's why he's not able to contact you. That's why he hasn't talked to you in the last couple of days, because he's busy. He's got some other stuff happening. Definitely feels so. He's got the Knight of Pentacles. It does talk about a long journey. So it's talking about he's got a bit of a journey on his life at the moment. Things around him are a little bit. He's got a long stuff. He's got a lot of stuff happening around him. It feels very long and arduous. Okay, and so you've got the Page of Swords here. So that's really about the mental state that he's feeling. So he might be dealing with a lot of mental stuff, trying to find the truth of the situation that's going on to him. He might be dealing with a lot of stuff at the moment, which is why he hasn't talked to you for the last couple of days. So that's the difference between a yes and no question. No, he's not going to contact you today. But with this card here, what's going on with him, we get a little bit more in depth, a little bit more about what's actually going on. So that's the options, just showing you the difference between a yes and no question having an open-ended question. Well, you didn't ask, you said, will he contact you today? He's busy. He's got some other thing on his mind. You're not on his mind right now because he's got some other stuff happening. Okay, so you didn't really you just sort of said, will he contact you today? That's what we looked at. And then you sort of think, well, he's busy. He's got some other stuff on his mind. So he's not really thinking about you right now. You're not his priority right now. You're not really his priority. It doesn't really show up. If you want to know a little bit more in depth, the donations are there. Don't forget the donations will give you a little bit more information. You know, he's not thinking about you right now. He's too busy. He's got other stuff on his mind. He's not really thinking about you at the moment. He's not really feeling about you. He's got too much other stuff going on. So, right. Where am I up to? Right, that too. Okay, clarification for my connection with B. I'd like to understand his thoughts. Okay, Linda. Clarification for your connection. So what's the foundation of the connection with B? Well, I'm only doing a 2-card reading, so it's not going to give you a lot of information. Okay, remember, you're only getting 2 cards with a free reading. So really sort of understand. So you're asking for a clarification for your connection with B. I'm not going to be able to go into much more depth than that. You're either going to go, Understand his thoughts is a different question, and how he views you as a person could be something completely different. And remember, when someone views you, it's only their perception. It may not even be true. It is only their perception. So do you want to know the foundation for your relationship, or do you want to know how he actually views you as a person? So this is a really tricky one here, because I'm only doing 2 cards. If you want more in depth, the donations are available. So what did I pin as a question? Shit, what have I done? These things sometimes happen where I pin things and shouldn't be pinned. Oh. Ah! So I didn't mean to do that. Up to you. Clarification for your connection. It's up to you. You've got to ask your question. Want to be absolutely clarification for your connection with B is quite a good one to do. Is about how your what's your foundation for your connection with B is a really good question, because it really allows you to sort of get a little bit of a view. If you look at the foundation of your connection, it can give you a lot more about your instead of your view. So here we've got the 3 of Wands. So we talk about the sense of looking ahead, looks about your connection with V, the foundation, right? The foundation of it is about looking ahead. So it does feel like he's looking ahead at your relationship. It feels like the both of you seem to be sort of looking ahead at your goals. Whoa, card just flew out here. And we have the 8 of Swords. So it might be about, now 8 of Swords can be a sense of being contained, being caged. So the foundation of your relationship could be quite restricted. Okay, it feels like there could be some restriction, but there is an easy way to move through that. There could be some things that you're not quite seeing the bigger picture. You're not able to see the sense of, I'm getting a sense of like, it's interesting because I keep seeing, when looking at this card here, Linda, okay, you're looking at the foundation of your relationship, and I actually see like there is a doorway ready to be open. There's a doorway already open, and you can walk through it, but something is keeping you restricted, keeping the relationship restricted. There's no freedom in the relationship. There doesn't seem to be any freedom in the relationship. Feels like there's a moment of pause, reflection. Okay, feels like there's a lot of reflecting going on in this relationship. It feels like you're doing a lot of reflecting. Okay, and it feels like maybe you know, with the foundation of the relationship, you need to look at why you're reflecting on it. Why do you need answers about the relationship, about how he feels? So that might be something that you might need to look at. There might be some limits that you're placing on the relationship. That's the 8 of Swords here as well. So it really asking you some things, Linda, to really reflect, to contemplate on what limits you're placing on the relationship, instead of being in the now, in the moment. What limits are you actually placing on this relationship? What are your expectations? What are your expectations of the relationship? Put it that way. What is your, so I feel like that foundation of your relationship at the moment, there seems to be a lot of expectations, a lot of limits being put onto the relationship, or conditions, if you like, conditions put on the relationship. And that comes from thoughts, perspectives, and things like that. So there might be some real things to really work at within yourself. What are the limits that you're putting on the relationship? What are your expectations of the relationship? Okay, that can be a really big thing that you could be building that relationship on, coming from a place of expectations. Okay, so it might be something that you really need to look at in a real deeper way. Okay, so I do feel there could be some limits that you're placing on the relationship, expectations that you're placing on the relationship, instead of just being in the now and being walking side by side. There are some thoughts that this is where you want to be, And so when you put the limits or the expectations on that relationship, you may not move in that same direction at the same time. But if you're just walking side by side and enjoying the moment, then you'll just find yourself moving slowly together. You might want to think about, you might want to reflect on, and look at the direct. What are you doing right now in regards to those limits or those expectations that you're putting on the relationship? With the Eight of Swords. So hopefully that sort of gives you a little bit of something to think about in many ways. Okay, so we are down to, thank you for doing this, G. This is a huge help. This is such, okay, so we might do this as using those last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Might close off, or let's have a look. So I might do these last 5. Yeah, so it's something that, Linda, that you could really look deep into. So really want you to develop and be empowered on your journey. This is you, about your growth, your development, you know, and you becoming you, which is so important. So I'm doing Chankel next. So let's have a look. JA, you don't need to keep posting your question, just once enough, and really about something different. Well, you won't get quality in 10 or 15 demo lectures. You won't get anything in demo lectures. They're not going to give you anything. Demonstration lectures, they're not going to give you much. It's only going to give you just basic stuff. Chankel, I'm not sure. I think Chankel did post. I just got to find. Oh, yep, here we go. I found Chankel's question. Thanks, G. Jaya, you really got to do some research. You're not going to get any quality. You really got to give yourself a chance. I feel like you're doing a lot. You're spreading yourself out really thin, doing all these things. Okay, Chankel. How will he feel when I call Lakosh on my birthday? Oh, so you want to invite him. So you want to know whether he'll arrive or not. How will he feel? Whether he'll be... I don't think it really... I don't know why you want Lokesh to come. I don't know whether Lokesh... I don't know whether this is a romance or something... Oops, I just... Okay, Two of Cups. Definitely feels like there's a connection there. You got Two of Cups, so it definitely feels like there's some sort of connection there. And you got Six of Cups, creating memories. So yeah, there is a possibility that if you invite, it depends on how you invite, of course. It does feel like there is a possibility of a connection, so it does come up as feeling like creating memories here. So yeah, there is a possibility he will come. He will come to the situation. It will feel as though he's creating some, that you will be creating some memories. So there is a possibility that he will come. Right, yeah. We're really going to be workplace thing. It feels like we're doing the same. You're just trying to find, when JF finds an issue with the exams in 10 or 15 days, I have seen so many, but I can't get quality education. When will you find any institute to study for CA Foundation? November 20. Woo! Okay, JR. I can't keep going over these same sort of questions over and over again. I think you really need to do your own research. I think you need to trust in your own intuition. it's not giving me, when you do these timing things, they don't really give you a lot here. I do feel like you have to rely on yourself in this situation. I think a lot of it here is, I do feel like there's a lot of outside influences. I do feel a lot, it's about, you ask when will something happen. I think this is going to be reliant on, depending on what else goes on in the situation. So depends on what action you take. I think it's all about the, when will you do something? Well, it's totally dependent on whether you 12 weeks. I don't think it'd be 12 days, 12 weeks, 3 months, within the next 3 months, only if you take action. So what action? Or only go through Ko-Fi. Did you go through the link? Go through my shop. Go through my Ko-Fi. 1 minute. Let me type this in. Let me just do this. It's always PayPal. I only donate through PayPal. It's all I have. It's all I go through. Donate through Ko-Fi. Okay, so JA, you're looking for your exams. You're looking at when do you get qualified, when will you find institute? It says within the next 3 months, but I think it's very dependent on finding a sense of wholeness within yourself. I think emotionally, I think you need to what do you mean you don't understand? Okay, it's really important that you, what are you afraid of? Trust your own intuition. I think you need to do a lot of your own work. Okay, so within the next 3 months, you will get your study, you will find an institute to study, right? I said within the next 3 months. Okay, but it's all dependent on whether you can find a sense of wholeness within yourself emotionally. It's about how you bring everything together, which is really important. Looking at you trusting your own intuition. Okay, I think it's about trusting your own intuition. I don't think the cards can give you a really clear answer. I say within the next 3 months, but it's next 3 months, but it really dependent on whether you can trust your intuition, whether it, it might not be the right thing for you, even though it might arrive within the next 3 months. Doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to think. I think it's a lot about looking online, I do think it's about trusting your own intuition. I feel like this is something that you're afraid of. Fear. Something's holding you back, and I think it'll be fear. Yeah. Thanks, G. Or it depends on you. You can totally decide for yourself what you want, and I just work around it. Linda, you decide for yourself. If you want to donate, you decide for yourself how much you want to donate. Look, I'm not going to tell you how much to donate. I'll just answer the question to the best. What you can afford. It's in your budget for donating. Okay, if anyone's donating, please just you decide for yourself how much you want to donate. I've got no worries about what you donate. If you donate through Ko-Fi, don't forget, if you donate through Ko-Fi, you will get exclusive content. Okay, you will get previews, you will get a whole lot of extra stuff as well. So where are we up to with, and go to the free list? Okay, so this is what I'm at. Oh, sorry, JR. I didn't realize you were learning English as a second language. Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it gets a little confusing. So what am I up to? Alondra. That's where I'm up to. And if anyone donates, please just donated. Don't post your question until you donate, if you're going to donate. Cool, thanks. And if you decide to donate, that's totally up to you. I don't want to tell anyone how much they should donate. Totally up to you to decide. Through Ko-Fi, you will get exclusive content. Okay, you will get previews. You get all sorts of exciting things. Okay, how does David view me? Now, when you ask how someone views you, remember it's just their perspective. Doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Doesn't mean it's factual. Perceptions are not always factual. Okay, so they're not always the truth of the situation. It just sees how someone perceives you. Okay. So, by the way, I'm using the Sacred Fractal Tarot. Now, this is a tarot deck I created. It is an advanced tarot deck. It is for someone who sort of has an understanding of tarot, some understanding of what the tarot meanings are. This is a great deck to sort of open up your own intuition. Thanks, G. You're a huge help. That's awesome. Okay, Alondra. Okay, so let's have a look. He's your friend. Remember, this is just just his perception of you. It may not be absolutely. We've got the Ace of Wands. So we see that there is a sense of a breakthrough, a new, I want to say a new passion, a new creative energy. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean as in a romantic sense. It could just be that you're someone that he sort of really connects with. There is that new connection on some level when we're talking about passion. Now, there could be someone that could be argumentative. Now, might see you as someone that he could battle with, someone with potential, someone with a breakthrough of an understanding, but also someone that may play, I don't know if he sees you as someone that could play, you know, have a bit of a battle with, bit of conflict with. I don't know if there's conflicts, you know, or someone that can be conflicted in some way. He may even have conflicts about you with the way he feels when I'm talking about passion and creativity. So he may see you as someone that he's quite passionate about. So he might be feeling a little conflicted about that situation because he knows that you're actual friends. But he might see you as something maybe a little bit more as that, something maybe a little bit more. Now, remember, this is just his perspective on how he might see you as someone with a little bit of passion, a little bit of creativity, someone that he may battle, you know, he may feel conflicted within himself. I don't think he's going to find you someone he argues with or anything like that. I feel that he's very conflicted within himself. And that might be because things, you guys might be friends, but he might see you as something a little bit more than that. So he's feeling a little conflicted within that energy. That energy, he's feeling very conflicted about that. Might be feeling like he's playing a bit of mind games with himself, having his mind going around in circles in some way. And this might be the energy that he's feeling at the moment. So yeah, there could be something more going on than meets the eye. But remember, that's just his perception. Sorry, I got a bit of a cough there. I got next. Okay, these are the people line. So next we have, oops, sorry, the computer's playing, the connection is a bit funny and I keep hitting the wrong button. Right, to Jaswini. Right, let's go back to Jaswini. Let's have a look at your questions. So let's see if this works. So it's not picking it up. Oh, I got the wrong bloody, that does not help. The wrong, whoops, I just put the wrong thing in. That's why I'm having trouble. Right, I want to go into here. And that's why I am having trouble. Okay, so let's just put the wrong things in. Right, now I should get somewhere. Right, to here. And I am looking for you're welcome, Alondra. You're welcome. Okay, so now I'm looking at the right new sub. So I just need a question. Tiawasini didn't go up. Okay, that didn't go up. So I just need a question. Oops, didn't mean to do that. So I'm just waiting for Tiawasini. Yep. I don't know where. Yeah, I couldn't find your, I couldn't see your question. Didn't show up. So something might have happened. I got your new sub, but I didn't get a question. Didn't show up. Okay, so I am not getting any question here. Didn't show up for some reason. Sometimes YouTube won't post a question for some reason. It won't post something. That's why you need to sort of post it. Yeah, I got 2 exams. Hey, I got two exams. Okay, will I rank in both? Okay, cool. Oh, Alondra, thank you for your donation.